That would have been nice if I got away with not having any speech. Thanks, Shannon, for such a great introduction. That's great. I'll always remember that. And I'm glad you didn't tell too many embarrassing stories. It makes my speech a bit shorter because I don't have to explain so much to my family. Yeah, but it was arm wrestling over Thanksgiving that injured me. So that's how it happened. Today means a lot to me, and until I sat down to write the speech, I didn't have a clear idea of why it meant so much. So I guess I should start off by thanking the NRPI Athletic Department, not only for all the support they gave me during my collegiate swimming career, but also for forcing me to write this speech and make sense of the moment. It sounds peculiar to say, but my life has certainly been grounded in the water. From a young age, swimming has been part of my life, developing my strengths, and highlighting and balancing my personal weaknesses. Life seems so much easier when I swim, not because of the relative ease of everything else compared to grueling 2-a-day workouts during the heart of the season, but because the sport gave my mind a release from academics or other challenges and allowed me to do everything through the proper perspective on a day-to-day basis. So that's on the one hand, the actual act of swimming, the way my mind wound the sport around the reality of my life. On the other hand, of course, are the people who I've either met or whose relationship with was enriched through the sport. While preparing for today, reminded me of the tremendous balance that swimming gave me. More importantly, it's allowed me to reflect on all the amazing people that have experienced the sport with me. I lost sight of both after RPI, and only in the last year or so have I rediscovered those memories and memories. I would be remiss if I didn't start with my high school swimming coach, who traveled here today with his oldest son. Respectively, they have been like a second father and brother to me. Coach, you always believed in me and modeled me, molded me into a person who I would not have been without your influence. I cherish the friendship that's developed between us since high school, and I'll always consider you a great friend. My high school coach was the course adjustment of my life. Shannon was certainly the fine adjustment. She turned me into an all-American bachelor, as she discussed. When coming out of high school, I was a freestyle and butterfly, and her passion for swimming is obvious, and she encouraged me to have fun with the sport. In particular, I'll always remember that she gave me. Speaking of having fun, then there was EJ. I always tell people that the most mature period of my life was the first semester at RPI, and then I started hanging around with him. I wouldn't have traded it for the world, though. Our shenanigans together loosened me up and taught me how to enjoy the lighter side of things. I was also lucky to have a great roommate, Jared Rutuso, through college, who was as funny and easygoing as he is intelligent and thoughtful. Jared came to pretty much all of our home swim meets, and he would challenge me to a one-lap swim race, except I couldn't use my arms. He lost. My two best friends from childhood, Stacy and Brian, are also here. Not surprisingly, since they've been here for me at everything important to me since preschool. Even though we live thousands of miles apart, things never change when we're together, and they've always supported me regardless of the situation. To my parents, Uncle Jim, Aunt Barb, and my grandparents who couldn't be here today, thank you. Your selflessness still astonishes me to this day. I want you to know that I had the greatest time swimming for you and watching how much joy the sport brought into our family. I almost didn't swim at RPI because I was so intimidated by the academics my freshman year, but was encouraged by my family that's here today, and I'm thankful that they saw the strength in me that I couldn't see. To my parents especially, you guys are awesome and an inspiration to me on how to live a full and happy life. If my successes would have been difficult with all the people I just mentioned, they would have been impossible to influence my younger brother, Pat. It's hard to express in words the impact we've had on each other's lives. Our natural brotherly competition pushed us to new heights in life we would have never reached alone, and there's not another person in the world that gets me like he does. I frequently wish he were only a short block away like he was at RPI. He lives in Italy now. I don't know if he could get any farther away, out in California. And I regret that I didn't take the walk more often when we were at RPI to spend more time with him. Finally, since I'm guessing it's quite a rare occurrence for two inductees to be from the same graduating class instead of the same athletic team, I'd like to share some of my thoughts on Allison just in case any of you are wondering how our dynamic went over the 4 years in college. No doubt about it, she was an incredible athletic talent, a very strong person, and certainly the gold standard on our team. Her nickname was Ace, for goodness sake. How am I supposed to compete with that? Because women's championships were always before the men's, I had to spend a nerve-wracking week each year knowing that she already set records, made national cuts, made All-American. So she definitely always sets the bar high and indirectly pushed me just as hard as anybody else. Looking back though, being on the team with not only Allison but also Megan Hartman, my brother and other very talented swimmers, drove me in ways that I could have never done by myself. So thanks to Allison and all my other teammates. Being a student athlete at RPI is a time that I'll never forget. I learned a lot about myself, but more importantly, I got to share it with a lot of amazing people Thank you for this honor. Thanks to the Induction Committee. I'm not sure if my words capture it completely, but it means a lot.